Hey guys, welcome back. This is Vinyl Thrash. So I'm here playing Explain 11. Again, figured I'd do another video, I guess. So I'm here at Phoenix, where we landed. We're taking a different plane here. We're taking the Delta Rotate MD-80. So that's what we'll be flying with today. My computer's being stupidly slow for some reason. But we should have a fun time. Let's see here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing started. That's the kind of the most time-consuming part of the whole thing. But so we did the flight to Phoenix, which was Southwest, and then we're doing Delta back. So that's kind of the plan currently. Let's go ahead and make sure we have some volume here. For some reason, my volume resets itself, so I'm gonna... Alright, so let's go ahead and go up here. Start our ground power. We'll flip the battery switch on. Turn the air on. Turn the pump on. Turn that there. Arm the emergency lights. Turn on the yaw damper. We'll get the logo light just because. And then I'm going to start the APU now. Okay, so you can see it's moving here, so we'll give that a minute. While that's going, let's do some other things. We'll turn on the no smoking. Oops. Stay on. Turn on this. Let's get our where is it? Landing speed. I don't want that going because it hasn't been giving me reliable. Whoops. Hasn't been giving me reliable readouts, so we're gonna be disabling that. It's where it is. It'll tell us in our passenger stuff. Okay, so we're doing flight number. I'll just do 277 again. 125. We're going from Phoenix to KSLC. So we're going. Basically, we did LAX to Phoenix, and then we're doing Phoenix up to Salt Lake. So that's the plan. It's going to be an IFR. Alright, so that should be set. Let's close that. We have APU power, so we'll go ahead and start that, and then we'll disconnect our external power. Let them know we don't need that, and then we're going to open the door here so people can board. So open the front door and cargo doors. We'll get our ground handling driving up. Let's take a look at that. Here they come. We don't need anybody coming in from the back. There's a stairway there, but I'm not even going to worry about it right now because it's just not that big of a deal. Yeah, so it's really, really cool. Oops, I need to open up those rear doors. So I guess I'll just open up the back ones too and see if that helps. Because the front would open, but for some reason that door's not opening, but the stairs are in the back here. So we'll allow it. Cargo doors should be open, and they are. So let's go ahead and continue working on the interior here. We're going to hide that because it gets in the way. It's a very oddly designed airplane, but I personally do like it. We're going to turn that to plan. Set that down. Turn on data. Alright, so let's go ahead and I think we're good for now. I'm going to get that ready to go. We're on APU power. We'll turn on our pumps. Okay. People are still loading, so let's go ahead and get our passenger thing here. Our status. Shit. Not settings. Come on. Status. We'll get this on. Welcome, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome aboard this Qantas flight.
Let's go ahead and set up
It
our...
is a requirement you are familiar with the safety equipment carried on this aircraft.
So position
Please
and net.
watch the
So we are
nearest video
at
screen or the cabin crew for this safety demonstration.
KPHX. Mind you, this plane has no auto land, so it's probably going to be a shitty landing. Gotta line the ILS, or IRS, I mean. So this does take forever, so don't, or it doesn't take forever in this, which is really nice. So, there's that. So we're set there. Let's move on to route. We're going to KSLC. KSLC, okay. Here we go. And then our first stop is GCN. Hey, what's going on, Brendan? Bam. Okay, next step, direct to BCE. Bam, and then we hit the star there. So we'll activate this just because I like pressing the activate button. We'll depart. Our departure is actually off 26, so it's kind of far from us, so it's a little bit of a taxi. And then I believe we're taking Snowball, or Snowball, whatever. And then we're arriving with ILS 34R. Using Jammin'. I don't know that they're going to have it. Oh, it doesn't look like they do. Let me see here. So here's the flight route. So it's Jammin' Force. Let's see if we can backtrack. Okay, Phoenix, KSLC. Did we put in the wrong route? We did. I think there's a Quen, right? Yeah, they do have Quen. So we're gonna go with that route here. So that's ready, and then I think we're still going. Same here. Just trying to get the right flight. Oh shit! Sorry. All right. Takes a minute to generate the flight plan. So I'm just going to move this over here now so I can put it in. We are going to be at flight level 320 for this flight. It is a pretty short flight from what I understand. Okay, so let's get back on this. So the departure 26 using Snowball. See, they want us to use Yote actually for this. And then 26. So execute that. Arrival will be 34, and we'll be using the Quen instead. Quen 4, there it is. That should work. Let's check route. GCN, that's still right, to BCE. Okay, so that's still correct. Just go to legs. Move that up. Move Quen up. Execute that. Then we have vectors, so I'll vector myself to Cure or whatever, and so I'll do that manually. Let's go to init-ref, set the 0. Before we do that, this plane's a little bit moody, so you have to set the flaps first to 15, and then you set this to 15. It's called dial flap, or dial flaps, I believe, and then we set this as well, and this will give us our you put in your center of gravity, which is already done for us, and then our flaps. Then you move this, and this little piece here, I'll zoom in. This right here moves down. So we want to set it right in between 10 point, so right in between 10 and 11, so about 10.5. That's about right. So we shouldn't get any alarms, it's very sensitive. Okay, and then we're also going to set up the glare shield in a minute here, but I do want to select takeoff, so we're ready for that. It's basically toga. Reserves, we'll just say we have 5 reserves. Cost index doesn't matter, so we'll just do 5. 320 as our cruising altitude, and then 10,000 as our transition. Okay, takeoff. Do that for us. We get our V speeds. Okay. That's all looking good. Our trim's already set for us. So let's go ahead and check this route here. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see a bit better. Let's go to legs. So we'll step through. So we wind up, then we curve a little bit. We take this little bank to the left, go up, and then I believe this is where we begin to vector ourselves. Yeah, so we vector ourselves to the runway. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll go from here, and then we'll just vector ourselves using the heading guide to Chevel or whatever. Yeah, and then we'll land. So we'll go from here to Chevel or Chevel, whatever it is, and then we'll land. So that should work just fine. For that, let's go ahead and set this to map, and then data's fine for now. Let's actually zoom in. I'm gonna turn on some lights. This is the first run of the morning for this plane. So it looks like they're done loading baggage. So we're gonna get ready to push back and start up. So let's go ahead and get rid of our. We'll have them all drive away, and we'll clear that in a minute. So that's taken care of. We're not using ATC, so I don't have to worry about any of that right now. Set up the glare shields. So what's our first cleared altitude? So we'll go to flight level 102. So this is the MD-80. If you're not familiar with it, it's a very, very difficult plane. Just because it's so weirdly made. But so you have to select. So here's kind of your HUD, I want to say. But you have to set your altitude. So if I do speed select first off, so speed select, right? So we want to do a 150. I'm gonna actually do 160 because I've stalled before in 150. So we'll do 160. And then we're not gonna touch the auto throttle yet. And then we're gonna do we'll fly out runway heading. If I can. That. I believe it's about that. So we'll do heading select, vert speed. We'll go about 15, and then we'll select our altitude. So that, if you don't select your altitude, it will completely fuck up your day. So, all right, let's get ready to start this thing. So let's stall test. We'll do an overspeed. I've gotten that one a lot because I'm an idiot. We don't really need the cockpit lights. Let's turn on the hydraulics, so when we push back we can steer. Okay, all of those are on. Let's get our altimeter.
November 902 Delta Lima Kilo Papa Hotel X-ray. Altimeter 2957.
Wow, we were really off.
Kilo Papa Hotel X-ray. Altimeter 2957. November 902 Delta
Everything
Lima.
Looks relatively good here, so I'm gonna set this to reject takeoff. Turn on these. I forgot what they're called. I think it says there. Pneumatic valves. Yeah, you can't start the engines without it. Let's see here. So we'll turn on the packs. Basically, is what those are in a minute. We got the emergency lights armed, seatbelt sign we will turn on since we're about to push back. Let's do one quick check. We got the logo lights. Yeah, we're all good to push back. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started. Alright, let's see here. So we'll remove the parking brake, the air ramp will leave. Let's take a quick look outside. Such a beautiful plane. We'll close that door. I almost forgot. Close that, close that, close that. Watch this close. Okay, that's closed. Cargo closed. Why isn't the stair closing? There it goes. It's a really cool plane. I really like it. So, all right. So we'll turn on the landing lights in a minute, and the taxi lights. Actually, we will turn on these right now, and then once we start taxiing, we'll get those going. So let's go ahead and get pushed back and start this bitch up. So we're going to runway 26. So I believe we have to push out, nose to the left, go down, and then turn right, and then another right, and it's over there. So we want nose to the left. I have to steer it, unfortunately, so let's make sure everything's working there, because I've had issues. Okay, looks like it is. Alright, seatbelts on. Let's go ahead and push back. Gonna start engine 1, or the right engine. So once that gets up to 20, go ahead and throw some fuel on it. Look at this guy walking. Take a quick wing view look. It's an amazing looking plane. Worth every penny. I love it. We'll do the safety once we kind of get going here. Okay. Sometimes it takes too long to get to 20, so I just throw all the fuel in, but I know it's not legit, but we're going to start this little turn so we can line up with this line, hopefully. So it is kind of a longer taxi, so you're going to have to bear with me here. It's, I believe 26 is over there. Maybe it's not. Let's check that real quick. Yeah, 26 right there. Okay, so yeah, we're going to have to go out here. Okay. We'll close up this. Start the second engine, because this one looks good. Oh, I have to do something as well. For some reason, my my speed brake, it needs it reversed. So it'll work how it's supposed to. Okay, so that engine is starting. Hopefully we can make this. Okay, that's going. Yeah, it looks like we'll make that line okay. It's kind of a steep turn, but once we're lined up, we should be good. So that's looking good, so we'll go ahead and turn off the starter valve. The plane just switched to the engine, so we can turn off the APU. That looks good right about there, so stop. I don't know why it's applauding. I think it thinks I landed. Let's check, because it thinks I... Okay, I'm not going to fight. It thinks I landed, so we might not be using that tonight. Okay, so flaps are set to 15, that's set. Set to takeoff, flight recorder, okay. Let's go ahead and disconnect from the APU. Start our packs so the back doesn't get overheated. I believe that is correct. And then we set our landing altitude, I believe is like 490 or something like that. Somewhere around there. Alright, so the APU should be turning off here. We'll see. Alright, let's go ahead and taxi to our runway. Oh. Sometimes in this plane it veers to the side, so you gotta put a little bit more thrust into it to get it going the way you need it to. It's a good looking plane. Oh, my frame rate is just terrible right now. What did I grab? How's it going, Brendan? I'm trying to remember where we're at. Yeah, this is definitely, so 26 is definitely over here. Because I landed on 26 last night, so we will turn right here. This is the APU gens off. It should be, because, oh, that was weird. Oh, I turned it back on in accident, okay. Okay, let me turn in here. Apologize about my frame rate, it's not usually this bad. I think it's because I'm streaming, so it has to work a little bit harder. I'm gonna try closing another browser window. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights here so we can let people know we're on our way. We'll close our sim brief. We don't need that. But yeah, so the reason I hide this is because it gets in the way of the lower screen. It's a very oddly designed airplane for those of you that don't know. But I mean, it's really cool. The whole design of it. Let's line up a little bit better with this taxi line. But it's a really, really quiet airplane, so that's why I personally like it. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. And if you don't get these flaps right, you don't do the dial flaps and everything, and then set it and get your trim right, it'll complain. So, just something for y'all to think about. It's a very moody plane, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it becomes a whole lot better. So, there we go. Now we're nicely lined up. Nice little sun glare. Oh, I even forgot. I always forget this. We're gonna stop for that cart that's apparently not gonna start or stop for us. Better turn on that high dynamic range. Look at that. Alright. Jesus. You know, we're just gonna go. They're not gonna hit us or anything. We don't collide with them. But they're on a collision course with us, so. So I'm gonna hide that, but it is a long taxi, but not too long of a flight. It's pretty manageable, and I'm considering doing Salt Lake back to LAX as well. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do though. Okay, we're gonna turn the second turn off here. I'm going to be installing X-Traffic, I think it's called. I read some stuff on it. It might be a pretty decent mod, so I have some other planes kind of roving around, so I'm not the only one flying. Figured that might be kind of cool. Alright. Do the safety. Yeah, see, it thinks we landed already, so I'm not even going to use this. The MD-80 is a payware. It's by Rotate. It's Rotate MD-80. I tried using the default MD-80, and it was just absolutely terrible. So the only function that I've found doesn't work so far is this auto land. So I have to try to land this thing myself, and I'm terrible. But otherwise, yeah, it's a payware. Okay. I think the coolest thing is if the sun's in your eyes, you just move this little shield. It's stupid, but I like it. Oh. Go away. It has ILS, it just doesn't have an auto land, so you still pick up the localizer and everything. You can start an ILS, and it stops descending, I found, around like 300 feet, so you gotta disengage and land it yourself. I like the auto land because I'm such a shitty pilot as of right now, but yeah, it takes you down nicely though, so it's still pretty early in development. I think it was just ported over, I think, to X-Plane 11. I could be wrong. It's a damn good looking plane though, especially at night. The reflections are pretty amazing. Okay, so we're gonna turn left at this next little bit. Okay, and we'll fly runway heading until we can pick up the route. And so just so you know, you'll see when I take off, but when you engage your VNAV and LNAV, essentially it just says nav, but when you engage those, it tends to dip a little bit and then it'll pick up. So just know it's not me, it's just the plane. For some reason the transition to nav sometimes freaks it out. Go ahead and taxi onto the runway. We'll hold, make sure we're set.
Approaching 26.
And then it likes to turn really sharp, so you want to turn it down, especially right on takeoff, because we're doing that base leg out to the right. Alright, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and line up. So I know it's a long taxi, but it's really nice. This is a long plane too. Okay. And it likes to start lifting on its own, so you have to put quite a bit of forward pressure. So I'll turn it on so you can see.
26.
Okay. So we'll turn. So we got the toga switch on. So I'm gonna turn on the auto throttle, and that pretty much will do everything we need it to for us. You'll see the throttle go up. Let's line up, and then you'll see quite a bit of forward pressure just because it's going to start lifting on its own. And this is a long plane, so it's prone to tail strikes. So we got to watch out for that. Anyways, I'm going to turn this off so I can see what I'm doing. So rotate is at 145. Got a little push to the left there from the wind. Alive, 80 knots. Starting to lift a little bit. 120. See, I'm pushing down and it's already lifting. Okay. Positive rate. Gear up. Whoa.
Light slope.
Landing gear.
Light slope.
See, it's
Light slope. Light slope. Light slope.
It's a very moody plane.
Light slope.
We're okay
Light
though.
slope. Light slope. Light slope. Light slope.
Shut up.
Light slope.
Alright, let's throw an autopilot. Hit nav. Okay. We should be good now. Like I said, it's a very moody plane. But we're up. We're alive. Vert speed, so let's try to get it on nav track. And sometimes it doesn't like to pick up this VNAV. Interesting. Alright, we'll leave it. We gotta watch the speed. There it goes. Nav climbs. Now it's going to follow its instructions, so we can take a little wing view. There's the Cardinals Stadium. I forgot what it's called, but it's right over there. The Arizona, or Phoenix Suns, I think, too, over there. Okay, we can turn this off. We can turn off the project. Oh, we forgot to close the pneumatic valves. Whoops. Whoops. Alright, well, we're up. We're flying. Cool. Here it is. Just a really, really nice plane. There's me, I guess. Okay. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit so you can see where we're going. We're going to flight level 320. So, and this key always changes. So, what I like to do is just set it to the top. The problem is it doesn't regulate itself, so I can't really. I'm still learning this plane. I don't know it as well as I know the IXCG 737. Well, we're on our way, so let's look at our paths. We parked here, we taxied out, took off, and we'll turn to the right. So it's not too long of a flight, thankfully. So yeah, we'll keep our climb. So we're going to be starting our flip to the right there. Beautiful plane. Love it. Worth every penny. Okay, let's check our speed. Sometimes it likes to go over speed. Everything looks fine right now. I'm working on some ortho photos for Phoenix. I don't have any at the moment, but I do for Salt Lake, so. Also, in the description, my flight plan is actually wrong. I forgot to update it. Sorry about that. Alright, well, we just kind of hang out now. There's not much we really need to do at this point. That alarm you hear is just the trim doing its thing, so. Just a heads up. Passing through 10,000, we can turn off the landing lights there. Well, I mean, it's on autopilot, so what else can I do? Got out to 180 miles. It's about 180 miles, give or take, to the airport. So I got a while. So we've got one page to vector in about 300 nautical miles. So not insanely far. I'm from Utah, actually, so we're flying to my home airport. Does that wing look scratched? Looks like wear and tear. It's pretty cool. So this, my favorite part about this plane is the texture. So if you know, it's kind of subtle, but see how this looks a bit more dirty? It's actually because the APU exhaust is right here, so it just burns onto this turbo. It's kind of cool.
Altimeter setting.
See, I always get that, but when I check my
November,
altimeter,
902 Delta, Lima, 18 Alpha, Zulu, altimeter 2959er.
wow, I was right this time.
18 Alpha, Zulu, altimeter 2959er, November,
Wait.
902 Delta, Lima.
A really cool thing about this plane as well, it can land at really insane speeds, and you can put the flaps down and the gear, so you can put the gear down at 300, like 300 knots. So I could put my gear down, it wouldn't even phase it. Flaps down at 280. It's nuts how fast this thing can handle. Flaps full 40 at 200. You can't do that with 737. I love the 737, but man, this is a nice one. But I have to land it, and I'm terrible at that. I forgot to switch it to climb, and then once we get up to cruise, I'll switch to cruise. Forgot to do that. The MD-80 itself is just really, really weird plane, but man, I like it. And the cockpit, although it looks nuts, everything's kind of got its own unique feel to it, and it kind of makes sense. Like the start valves are different; they have these coverings, which is nice. Actually, I can turn the anti-ice and all that. The battery switch, you have to turn and pull. The fire has like these grooves on it. So everything's got its own kind of feel. You got this big ass emergency switch that you can switch over. So it's just really cool. at our cruising altitude. And then I like being prepared, so I'm going to do it early. Do approach. So 109.50 is our nav. Okay, 341. So we can hit that ILS. And you guys can watch me suffer when I try to land. I'm actually not. I'm using just a standard camera with the numpad to adjust. For this particular plane, you can just use that, and you can just kind of go out the side, and then even for the XEG, I think it is, I still use the same method. I just open the window, and that works fine. Such a goofy design for a plane, though. I mean, and that's right there. You, like, have to lean in to see anything. Just don't understand what they're thinking. And then the rejected takeoff and basically auto brakes are over here. To put in your flaps in 4 different places. But, you know, if you need it. One thing I do like, though, is they added a little switch here so you can set the time to something you want. So if I want like a really nice, you know, night scene or something, I can adjust that. You can see the time going and the shadows moving really fast. So you can kind of get that perfect time that you're looking for. So if you want like an evening landing or whatever, you can set it perfectly. Really cool plane. Definitely worth the money I paid. Turn on the galley lights. Not that it's really necessary. The scenery will get better too once we get to Salt Lake. I have pretty good ortho photos for Salt Lake. So theoretically it should be a lot better. This looks like we're a little base late. Kind of neat. Just about out of cruising altitude, so we're almost there. So I typically set this thing down at about 145. love compared. Look at this thing. Beautiful. I have my reflections down quite a bit for the streaming, so that's why it doesn't look all that great. I'm going to turn up my bank angle so we can do that. Just on takeoff, you want to reduce that because this thing banks like a bitch. So. Windshield wipers work. It's a payware, so you gotta expect everything to kind of work well. Let me see. I always have this. Oh, right engine anti-ice, right? I turned on the anti-ice. Okay, so we're at our cruising altitude now, so I'm gonna select cruise. And now we just kind of hang out for a little bit. So we're pretty close. So we're at GCN. So we have GCN, and then 100 miles to BCE, and then 150 to Quen. And then, so once we get 2 vectors, we'll get us lined up and ready to approach, and I'll pull up the chart so we can see what we need to be at Hacker or whatever. So I think it's Chevelle. We need to be at 6-1 to catch the ILS and start that. There's no auto land, like I said before. Button doesn't work, but the ILS does, so it'll get us down to about 300, and then I have to disconnect it and land it myself, and you'd be surprised how bad I am at that. So we'll just hang out here until we get there. Speeds, that looks good. On our descent, what is 270 on a descent? It's nuts. This plane's just nuts. Take a look at that wing view. This is kind of the hard part, because it gets pretty boring up until we get to the airport, and we have quite a ways to go still, so. trying to think what else I can show off. We can say hi to the passengers real quick while that's flying. Ta-da! I think you can actually peek out the window there. So that's pretty cool. The bathrooms don't work, but I mean we could go through, and it's just a blank box. So, oh well. But I mean the details are pretty good. You know, for this plane. Let's close that door. It's just a really nice plane overall. Oops, we don't need that start pump. Oh, and if you're using like fucking what's it called, ATC, or like that sim or whatever, you can actually adjust volume levels and shit like that, from what I understand. Just microphone level, voice, whatever. The PA system, you can put in your voice and then so anything like that. Intercom, I believe you can select, but yeah, it's just kind of a cool feature there. Apologize if this isn't the most fun. It's kind of hard to just talk about an airplane when it's doing fuck all. So. But, 17. Oh, the ETA to this is 17:15 right here. Okay. So it gives us a little ETA on when it thinks we'll get to that waypoint. That's nice. And this is the shit I don't use because it just bogs down. I'm not sure what the ADF is for, so I don't use that. I haven't found a use for it anyway. If you know, feel free to let me know. I wonder if I could let me try something. Make it look a little bit better here. If it'll let me. Put a little window in there. Because why not? We can add yeah, that should be good. Do something to make it look a little bit better, a little more pleasing. Unfortunately, I got that bar down here, but you get the point, I think. check everything, make sure it's still good. I'll put it back. Yep, we look good. Let's go ahead and go on this side. Everything still looks good. Maybe when I do a replay, I'll do the whole landing with window mode, depending on how I do. Let's take a look at the clouds too. Pretty nice, just a small little patch. Let's see, where do we begin our descent? Looks like up here. Right after it looks like right before the point. We're getting a little bit of wind here. It's pushing us back and forth a little bit. The one thing I noticed is this doesn't handle winds too well. So just be aware of that before you get it. When it goes through the plane. So it wants us to begin our top of descent here. I guess we have enough time to get down there. Just in case. Actually, once we get there, I'll be able to tell better. Sorry. Anyways, guys, I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab some water. So hang tight. Alright, 1715 is when I got there. Once we get to, looks like once we are at BCE, it wants us to do our descent down to 110. Really close. So I might start that a little early. I'm not starting now, to be clear, I'm just getting ready. I'm going to start it at BC. I just don't trust it personally. I know the IXCG pretty well, and I know PMDG really well, but unfortunately PMDG has kind of been doing my own thing with this. Please keep in mind I am not a professional. I learned on fucking, what's it called? YouTube, so what we'll probably end up doing is doing speed select, going back to 250, so that way on our descent we can have some wiggle room as far as speed goes. I don't want to be going too fast. So once we hit BCE, we'll start our vertical speed down. Probably I'll match it up to about where we need to be for Quinn. We should hit Quinn at 17:33, so we have what, 13 minutes. be starting our descent here pretty soon. So one thing they don't include for some reason, there should be a mirror in the center here, and the compass is like right here. I don't know why they didn't include it, but that's the legit MD-80 has a mirror about right here. It's like they forgot to put the compass in. It's definitely good I started that descent, or I'm going to start that descenter, because it wants me to do in like 10 nautical miles, 320 to 110. And then vector to, yeah, that's just not going to work. So, we'll get down to, what, 9,000, I'm thinking, and then, no, 990 for vectors, and then we'll vector, we'll check out the mountains, and if we're good, we'll go down to 6100. That's the plan. I'm gonna get a chart for the airport. Here is the chart for the airport. So what it's saying, we need to be, so we'll hit 9,000 at Hecker or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me see if I can't move this over, and we'll go to here. So at Hecker, we want to be at 9,000, I think it is. Yeah, 9,000. And then we'll descend to 6100, and then that's when we'll hit the localizer, and it'll take us down for us. I'll disengage at 300 and land it myself. So that's the plan. So, let me see. Previous page. Plage, is that on there? Yep, Plage. It says to be at 11,000 at Plage. So, or flight level 110. That's what it's saying. So we'll figure it out. Worst case, I can make it work. Because Plage is 3 nautical miles. If we just take this, Chevelle, cover vectors. Whoa, it deleted it. Oh, that's not good. 34R. Okay, now it's back to where it should be. It scared me. descent soon. It's been pretty turbulent, so that's why I'm keeping the seatbelt sign on. So you can tell just by this, I'm at an odd angle to the route, so it's adjusting for that crosswind. About 20 miles out. So we'll be starting that descent soon. We have some turbulence. Check that out. I don't even know what it's doing. I don't think it knows. We're bouncing around a little bit. You can see the wing flapping up and down a little bit. Some decent winds up here. 33 is 28, so we're getting there. We're almost in Salt Lake, so the scenery should change up here. From what I remember, it's a pretty big difference. So. I'll go halfway. I'll start descending. How about that? That'll be easier. Yeah. So by the time I get to the vectors... No, because that wants me to go all the way down there. Because we should be coming up straight to it. I understand. Let's switch into plan mode and check this out real quick. Plage. We'll skip vectors because that's all the way down here, and we don't care about that. So we want to hit occur. So plage, occur, Cheval, and then, yeah, so we come straight in, so we don't even have to go all the way down to vectors. We're not even going to worry about that. So, I'm going to start the descend early. I'll start at here, and I'll just drag it out so we reach 100,000 by when. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, here we go. going to start a descent right now. Speed there. Speed. See, I could have stalled there if I didn't do that. Looks like 900 will not. Yeah, it might. Looks like 900 is what I want to do. Cool. So we're starting our descent into Salt Lake City. Still the same default scenery up until we get up there a little bit more. Probably about right here-ish. Depends what KSLC is. We do got some clouds though, so it might be a little bit of a rough landing, especially with my lack of skill, so to speak, for lack of better words, I guess meaner words. Let's check our altimeter just in case.
November 902 Delta Lima Uniform 55 altimeter 2985.
2985. Well, it's a good thing we checked.
Uniform 55, altimeter 2985, November 902 Delta Lima.
That's why we check. Nice little camera view. Ignore this here. Just focus on this. Let's check our speed. It looks good still. Wow, it goes down a lot. Yeah, that should be good. We'll descend about that. Getting a pretty good push to the left here. So I'm gonna get the heading selector over. So we're gonna wanna put ourselves onto the localizer ourselves. There's no TCAS, but I mean TCAS is on. So I'll just put it back on weather. Sorry about the coughing, guys. Be doing a 40, so we'll come in at, we want to land at 126. I feel like we'll stall if we go that slow. So I'm going to come in about probably 130-ish and see how it goes. Kind of go from there. We'll see. If I do stall, you all can laugh at me. I hope I don't. Gonna have to say it's likely, because I am pretty bad at this game, so I'm still working on it anyways. Then right before we hit the localizer, I'll check our altimeter again, just to make sure we're set. As long as we hit our 6,100 here, we should be good. And then at Hackcure, whatever, we want to be at 9,000. Oh, I'm dying. I'm getting some of those clouds I was talking about. I'm waiting for that scenery to kick in. It should be soon. It's funny because I don't have all of Utah wrapper. They're just kind of, you'll see a line of default to custom scenery. It's pretty funny. I'm currently at about 250 knots. I'm actually going kind of slow. I just wanted to give myself some a chance to slow down there at the end. Where does that scenery kick over? It's gonna be perfect right here. We'll adjust as needed though. God, this cough is killing me. I thought I could see stars for a second. I was like, what the hell? That's just the dust. I was confused. Let's check this. Everything looks good. Good pressure. Oil temp is good. I can't see the airport yet. So I'm landing in Salt Lake International. I haven't even hit my custom scenery yet, so we're still a little bit out. About 80 miles, give or take. So, yeah, about 80. I'll zoom out so you can see. So, the runway is about here, I think it is. So, yeah, here's the runway right here. This little. So we're getting there. We're getting close. Once we get down to 110, we'll be at Quinn, or we'll reach Quinn, and then it's on to. For some reason, it wants us to go to FFU to 102, but we're gonna just stick to. We're gonna go down to 9,000 from there. Because we only have a few nautical miles, so we'll go to 9,000, stick there, and then when we're probably at Hakur, we're going to start our descent down to 6-1, so we reach Chevelle or whatever at 6-1, and then we can catch that localizer and it'll start bringing us down, and then I will take over at about 300 feet, and I'll try to put her down gently. We'll see. We haven't snapped into the Salt Lake scenery yet, but it's coming up. I know it is. It's like right over those mountains over there, I think. Zoom out, see if we can see it. No, not yet. I think it's somewhere in there. We are rocking a little bit. Got some pretty brutal wind, it looks like. It's rocking us all about. Okay, that's a bit better. This cough is killing me. See, I wanted us to start descent there. That would have never worked. No, I'm glad I started early. Glad I started early. I'll tell you what. Where's my custom data? Or custom scenery? I think it usually starts by now. Interesting. But this approach should be coming over the I-80 freeway. Salt Lake City, anyway. So the freeway, so we're coming in on 34 right. So the freeway is like right here, so we'll see how that goes. So hopefully it's not too windy on our final, because if it's doing what it's doing now, it's going to be kind of brutal. And I'm using real world weather. So let's see what we're dealing with here. It's not too bad. We are really close now. We're what, almost 40 miles away? We're getting there. I wonder if my scenery even is gonna load. It'd be weird if it didn't. But, I guess we'll find out. Well, we'll see how the weather is. We may... Oh, God, I hope we don't have to do a go-around. That would not be fun. See if I can tell where we're at. We must still be pretty far, because I'm not seeing KSLC. So it must be like right up here. Okay, we're at 20,000. Not a bad day out. Okay. Let's see here. Pretty close, pretty close. So again, just so y'all know what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit Quinn. So I'll hit Quinn, and then we'll keep going. And then when I hit Plage, I'm gonna just go heading until I hit Hakur or whatever, and I'll be at 9,000. I'll hit the localizer button, so it'll catch the localizer, line itself up, and then once I'm kind of lined up, I will hit ILS. Actually, I'll just hit ILS from the beginning, and once we catch the localizer, it'll start its descent from there. Once we're at 6,000, so theoretically this will work out. We will see. This thing's going back and forth, doesn't know what it wants. Yeah, I think my scenery starts just over this mountain. So we'll see. Really close. Okay, I'm getting some frame rapage, not sure why. Give it a minute. I think it's just the SkyMax might be doing its thing. Turn that down. Ugh, this is bad. I don't even know why. Yep, that helped. Just turn down the SkyMax a little bit. Great plugin. Recommend you get it. Kind of weird. Scenery is usually taken over by now. It's just, it's not. So, I wonder if something happened to it. Just didn't install or something. So I think KSLC is just up here. Yep, here it is. Here's our runway. Maybe it ends like right here, so I don't know. We'll see. I usually take off from Salt Lake, so that might be why I'm just not used to where the scenery ends, because I always start with it. Who knows? Okay, we're at 1.7. Flight level 170 almost. Once we get to 1.1. Let me see how long. So we only have to drop down a few thousand, so. Yeah, we'll be good. So the cool thing about this plane, so I'm going 250. I could drop all the way, well, I can do 11 flaps and drop down my gear just at this speed. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. So. Let's see. So all my scenery should be here. I don't know. Getting some pretty heavy clouds now. Depending on the mountains, once we get to Quen, I might actually look at going to 6,100 and see if, you know, we might be good there. Because once we get in the valley, it's not going to matter. I just want to make sure we're low enough, because I don't want to miss that ILS. I've done it before, and I don't want to do a go-round. Yeah, I believe Tooele's over here, so I think we're just outside of its rendering. Do a little preemptive work here. I'm gonna set that. Once we, yeah, I'll do it now. No, I'll wait. Once we align with the on the ILS approach, I'll switch that over to System B. Just in case we have to do a go-around, it gives us a little bit more power. I don't know where my textures are. It's weirding me out. Look at that. We avoided that. Going through this shit. What I'm actually going to do what the chart says. So at Kur or whatever, it says to be at 900. So I'll be at 9,000, and then once I hit that, I'll bump down to 6,100, and then I'll hit that ILS approach. So that's going to be the plan. We'll see if that pans out the way I need it to. We're supposed to at 18:01, so 8 minutes. We'll hit our next. Oh, clouds are moving in. Don't think it's raining right now. Yeah, we're just moving through. That's awesome. Anyways. So yeah, 9,000, 6,100, and then land. So it'll be, 9 miles to do that, and then 5 miles out. Yeah, that's perfect. That'll work. It's pretty cloudy today. Okay, we are just about at our altitude goal. I'm still kind of bummed I don't see my scenery yet. Really like that Salt Lake scenery. I also don't like not seeing, so hopefully we're not too close to the ground. I wish this thing had a terrain. Just has weather. Clearing up. Yeah, I think my custom terrain is messed up, so sorry about that. If it is, but I'll get it working next time if it is still doing it. Or maybe not. No. I think it's still screwed up. Who fucking knows, yeah. Alright, we're 500 feet below, or above where we want to be. A minute here. So it'll adjust itself and hold the altitude once we get there. At least it's supposed to. Get out of this shit. Okay, what's my speed saying? 288 or 200? I'm not sure. Yeah, 288. Seems a little fast. I'm gonna stick to my 250. Okay, we are at our altitude. You can see that here. So what I'm gonna do is bump this down to 9,000. Okay, and then when we need to descend, I will adjust the vertical speed and make sure it lines up with, what do I need it to line up with? Hacker, or whatever. Yep. Oh, never mind. I see my scenery line. See the scene Oh yeah, I can see the Salt Lake pretty clear now. There it is. Yep, there's the box. You can see the line go right there. Okay. Cool beans. Depending on where this hill is when we get there, we might have to go around it manually. What's this? So I'm thinking we're coming here, and then we're coming across here. So we're gonna go across the Salt Lake near Tooele, and then come in here, land right here. That's what it looks like. So we'll see if that's what pans out. Yep, you can see that line. Told you it was kind of abrupt. Let's see how close to this mountain we get. Okay, we're about 20 nautical miles out from Hakur. Hakur, whatever. That scenery line, straight down the middle. That's kind of funny. But the Salt Lake looks really good with this add-on. It's got that kind of green glow that it usually has, because it's salty. Not a whole lot different from a lot of people I know. And then you'll see my house on this side once we are about to land. Just before the airport a little bit. We are dealing with some pretty heavy clouds, so hopefully those clear up by the time we start our landing, because I can't see shit. I really need to add a terrain deal here. I don't know if this is it or not. But it looks like this is just weather. I could be wrong, but... I don't know what this is. Mark or Rose. It's clearing up a little bit. Look at that Salt Lake. Disgusting. Smelly. You can smell it from up here. So our nose is a little bit high, so I'm gonna go to 270 since our nose is so high. So 950, let's check on that. 950, 341. Okay, so 950, 341. 50, 341. The hell is that? Just a blind spot in it or something? Let's see if we can see the airport from here. Doubt it. I think it's over this hill. Yeah, we can't see it yet. We are getting close though, so here's... I think this is Provo. So, we're not too far. I'm pretty sure we're gonna hit this V21 and take that all the way in, and then hit the local turn. Whoops. Wrong button. once we get to Plage, I'm gonna turn on the heading hold, and that should line us up with the runway. 9,000 at Hooker. We're getting there, folks. If you've been here the whole time, thank you. If you haven't, welcome. Feel free to comment too. I feel like I'm talking to myself here. Jesus. Just to show you the charts, what my plan is here. So, when we get to Hecker or whatever, Kilo Romeo, I'll be at 9,000. So from Plage, I'll start my descent down. So that's coming up here pretty soon. So right here, I'll start my descent to 9,000, or to 9,000. Once I hit 9,000 at Hecker, whatever. We'll go down to 6,100 before we hit Chevelle. So, almost there. Almost there. Getting some better scenery with the wing. Got some houses auto-popped. I think it's a little bit outside of our range, but that's fine. There's a runway. God, I can't see shit. I'm excited to get out from underneath these clouds. They've been quite a pain. Look at that. Pretty neat. Williams, Utah National Guard, Salt Lake Municipal. So that's a little one. So we're getting there. Very, very close. There's us. There's airport. Okay. So now that we're at Plage. Oh shit, we're in it. Can't see shit. So we're going to have to rely on our instruments here. So since we're at Plage, I'm going to go ahead and tick in our altitude. We need to make sure we get there on time. Do 15,000 feet per minute. Or 1,500, not 15,000, Jesus. Okay. Let me hit that heading hold. Look at it. Look how beautiful that is. That's some good ass scenery, huh? So I live just like right up here-ish. So, the more you know. Okay, 9,000. And then, once we hit that completely, we'll go down to 6,000. And then we'll land. There's the airport now. Make sure we're following the right line. Whoops. So we want that. Okay. And we're gonna go down to 6,100. Okay. Speed to 190. So mind you, I'm a terrible pilot when it comes to landing, so this will most likely be a hard landing. I'm gonna use a little bit of drag here. IAS. 875. Alright. Whoops. Forgot these. Those are important. There's our runway, I think, right? Yep, that's our runway. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna disable the auto throttle. Whoops. Do it myself. So we are going too fast for. Let's see. I can actually do flaps 11 right now. Like I said, this plane is a monster. Flap down 11, 280. We are currently. Not 280, so. Should help us slow down. Oh yeah, this is our runway here. Okay, we're slowing down. Oh, we're coming in way too high, I think. Yeah, something tells me we're not making this one. Shut up. Oh, shit.
Steady. Too much bank angle.
Oh, no.
Sink rate.
It's our flaps.
Sink rate. Pull up.
We're dead.
Pull up.
Good night.
Pull up.
Fuck
Steady.
me.
Too much bank angle.
Well, that was fun.
Fire left engine.
Oh, God. I put the flaps down way too early.
Engine.
Steady. Too much bank angle.
Left engine.
There's no way I was landing that anyway.
Fire right engine. Fire left engine. Fire right
Well,
engine.
you got to see me crash, so that's always fun. Fuck. How far off was I from the airport? I was close too. I almost hit a helipad. Well, sorry guys. I was an idiot.
Fire left
We were going
engine. Fire
230
right engine.
and I dropped my flaps full.
Fire left engine.
I should have dropped it down to 15.
Fire right engine. Fire left engine. Fire right engine.
Fire? How? Nothing happened.
Fire left engine. Fire right engine.
I don't even know how to work this.
Fire right engine.
Anyways, guys, that was a fail. So, here's the tower. So we were supposed to land there, didn't happen. So just for shits and gigs, I'm gonna do a quick landing. KSLC. Customize. We'll do runway 34 right, and then we'll do a 3 nautical mile approach. We'll start with the plane running.
Pull up.
Whoa.
Landing gear.
I'm getting to it. Oh god, this is a
Approaching.
Sink
3,
rate.
4,
Really,
right.
really-
Sink
Yeah.
rate. Sink rate.
bumpy approach.
500.
Landing gear.
Shut up. It's
Landing gear. Landing
it's
gear.
not going down? Oh great, my gear's not going down. That's what I like to hear, you know.
Landing gear.
Whatever. I'm gonna do
Landing
it.
gear.
I'm landing without a gear. Emergency landing.
Gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
There's supposed to be a manual one, but I
Landing
don't know why
gear.
that isn't
300.
working.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Well, this stream is full of
Landing
disappointment.
gear. Landing gear.
200.
Landing gear.
Whoa.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
100.
Coming in for emergency landing.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Unless it's gonna crash.
Landing gear.
50. 40.
Landing gear.
30. 20.
Landing gear.
10.
Landing gear.
Okay. We'll just let it slide out. Slide it out. That wasn't too bad. Considering. Look at that. Let's see how bad this was. Sorry to disappoint. I know it's a long fucking flight just to crash land. Big flare, tail strike, and beautiful. Well, guys, thanks for watching. I know it was kind of shitty, especially how I landed up. But I do want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. You know, feel free to donate so I can get pilot lessons and shit. Anyways, I'll see you guys.